Yo, what's the deal? I'm still putting in my notes, getting you guys ready for the greatest show in the land, representing the land to be exact. But you know who it is, baby. Mykell Mathieu here with my guy Eric Lambkins the second, and we are the Misfits. Elam, say what's up to the people, man. You muted, you muted. Unmute yourself. He's too excited, man.
Yo, what's up, bro? You
Excited.
know who it is. It's your guy Elam. Sorry for the little technical difficulty, but you are tuned in, tapped into the Misfits, the greatest sports talk podcast that there is this side of the galaxy. I'm here with my tag team partner, Deshaun Michaels. I'm Shawn Michaels. He's more Marty Jannetty. Uh, but we are the Misfits, man, where we encourage you not to fit in, but find a way to stand out. We got a great deal to talk about, a great deal to discuss. One of us knows ball, and one of us is just on the show. So, without further ado, Kels, what we got lined up first?
The guy who knows ball is talking as we speak, but we have to talk about week one NFL. A lot of things happen, so I hope y'all ready for that. Week two of college football. One of these LA teams look like they might be something. The other one keeps coming up short. So we got to discuss that. We keep hearing generational player all over sports. What the hell does that mean? We're going to give you the Misfits version of that. Then we got so much more that we got to talk about. Ryan Clark is back in the news. My man is Mr. Tabloids these days with his takes. So we're going to talk about that as well. But we got to start in the NFL. I know Elam was waiting to talk about this, but we'll start with not Thursday because we saw that Philadelphia Eagles took care of business, protecting home starting their defending year of trying to be a champion once again. But the Los Angeles Chargers picked up a big win to start off the year, knocking off my Kansas City Chiefs 27-21. It was a big win for them. Like, they hadn't beat the Chiefs and Mahomes in a while. Now Herbert sits at 2-7 against Mahomes, but it could be one of those type of wins that gets them on the run to start this year. Elam, I know that you were overly impressed. What's your thoughts on that win with the Chargers knocking off my Kansas City Chiefs?
Before we even get to that,
Okay.
I think we gotta reflect on what was said last week because one of us called out exactly how things were going to go. I wonder who it is.
But what do I anticipate? The road to irrelevance starts in Brazil for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going down there. They're coming back 0-1. This game is going to be a slugfest. It's gonna be tightly contested. Jim Harbaugh is going to play clock control. The Chargers are winning this game, man. Listen, I've been saying it for weeks on end. As long as Matthew Stafford is healthy, I like the Rams coming out of the NFC, barring no team. Eagles, Niners, Lions, Packers, whomever you want to consider. The Rams are the team to beat.
Now, we can start with the Chargers.
Okay.
I know, Mykell, you were really tuned in to watch that game. It was very near and dear to your heart. Kel, what was your take?
We could start.
So
I expect this to be one of those classic Patrick Mahomes games. I think the Chiefs win 31-20. Just not enough outside targets for Justin Herbert to throw to. And I think that Xavier Worthy, this run game with the Chiefs with a healthy Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, I think they're going to do enough. Elam, I hate to sound like this because, you know, I love my city to death. I already got one team starting 0-1. This is going to be a tricky game because this Texas team, they're going to see how healthy Matthew Stafford back is.
So it sounds to me like one of us knows ball and the other one is just on the show. Let's start with the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers. Mykell Mathieu, I tried to tell you. I said Jim Harbaugh was going to play clock control. Little did I know that it was going to come on the legs of Justin Herbert. There was absolutely nothing that Spags could throw at Justin to throw him off his square. The dude threw for over 300 yards. He ran all over the place. And from top to bottom, it just looked like the Chargers were the more physical team. Shout out to a friend of the show, my guy. He's on my fantasy squad as my individual defensive player, Dayon Henley. It looked like I called it correctly, man.
No, it was a game that you could tell the Chargers really came out and said, hey, we want to win this game. They were celebrating like they won a Super Bowl there, including the Charger fans who were reaching out to me talking crazy. But they have to remember, you can't win a Super Bowl in September. Things started off bad for the Chiefs, terribly.
You can't win it in September, but you could definitely lose it.
Yeah, if you lose your star quarterback or something like that, yes, of course. But losing Xavier Worthy there in the third play, it shifted everything. It's coming in. Andy Reid was so excited to talk about, hey, this year is going to be the Xavier Worthy year. He has a chance to really break out. The game plan is going to be through him. We all learned with this game that clearly Travis Kelce is a shell of himself. That's what I learned in this one. So you can tell that, okay, we can't play through Trav anymore like we used to, but it's all right because we have an Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, who did show up and did some big time things, and other weapons. But once Xavier went down, it started the Chiefs off slower than they needed to be.
You just now figuring out y'all couldn't play through Trav? I told you that last year, that he was no longer the top tier tight end in the NFL. I told you it was. I told you. I said watch Brock Bowers, and I told you George Kittle. You said I was tripping, that I didn't know ball. Travis Kelce is washed, and this is why I picked the Kansas City Chiefs to not make the playoffs. Why? Because Travis Kelce. We can pull the tape up. This is nothing new. Travis Kelce has been a target monster his entire career. He's been force-fed the ball. And Patrick Mahomes has benefited greatly, not only from the choice routes of Travis Kelce, but when he had Tyreek Hill, you know what I'm saying, blazing off the line. Now, I will concede that Xavier Worthy, him being injured, or him injuring himself, completely transforming and everything. No Rashee Rice. The only person that you had was Hollywood Brown. That's it. Isaiah Pacheco really isn't a factor when there is no threat of big splash plays, right? And so we see exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs are. And I honestly think, the Philadelphia Eagles laid the blueprint on how to beat you guys.
Nah, only thing is everyone can't pass rush like the Eagles. So we're not going to act like Mahomes didn't go crazy. 258, a touchdown.
Did he win?
He ran.
Did he win?
Did he win?
He did he win?
But
did he win?
We're going to talk about another guy later who had some crazy numbers that didn't win.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it happens, but kudos to the Chargers. They picked up that victory, but let's see how these next 16 games are played, because for the Chiefs, the last time they started 0-1.
Yeah, they won the Super Bowl.
What happened to
But guess what? Travis Kelce isn't young and spry anymore. That's not happening.
It doesn't matter, because eventually, from what it's sounding like, Xavier Worthy is going to be back. Rashee Rice, we know, is going to be back in week 7. So they're going to have the
you guys very well may be out of contention by that point.
Oh no, not with the Chiefs are messing around, winning 8 straight games and have the whole
regression to the mean is a very real thing. You guys won like 11 games last year on one score games, final possession games. That is not sustainable. That's not sustainable. You guys escaped by the skin of your teeth 11 times last year. Right now, 0-1. Elam 1, PG 0.
Remember the year the Chiefs started 3-4, and everybody like, oh, they stink. They still made it to the AFC Championship, hosting the AFC Championship game. But I just want to give full praise and love to the Chargers because Justin Herbert showed up and did some very special things. And I give him a hard time because I'm like, in the regular season, of course, he puts up numbers. He looks really good, but he doesn't win when it matters most. This was one of those games that he played. He had to be perfect because they were a 3rd and 14, 19-yard run away from them having to punt the ball back to Mahomes, with him most likely going down and winning that game in Brazil. So Herbert looked really good. I got to shout out the key guys that stood out. Quentin Johnston, that man showed up. He took advantage of the one-on-ones he received. Keenan Allen, who knew that he still had something.
The ghost of Keenan Allen.
Yeah, the ghost of Keenan Allen. He's still shifty enough to get open to where the Chiefs took away Ladd like I expected them to, but these other guys stepped up. Amarion Hampton, he did a little bit in the run game, but it was just a Justin Herbert show. Great win for them. Clap it up for the Chargers. But like I said, the Super Bowl wasn't won in Brazil. Let's see how they can carry this on because they got Raiders, then they got Broncos, and then they got another tough matchup, maybe Eagles. So we're gonna really learn more about the Chargers these next 3 games.
Listen, I'm not saying they're going to win a division. I told you I picked Denver to take that division. I think that defense is going to be elite, top 5. And with RJ Harvey, they can do enough in the run game. Denver arguably has the best offensive line in the league, so they'll be able to run the ball. And what's the recipe for success? Being able to run the ball and to play defense. You can do that in any weather, any location. You can do it on the moon. You can do it underwater. You can do it at Atlantis. You can do it against Thanos. Doesn't matter.
Your Denver thinks like Bo Nix did against the Titans. It's gonna be hard for people to believe, and they should have lost if it wasn't for Brian Callahan looking like me and you coaching the team.
You know what? So, we talking shouldas, right?
Yeah,
I said that a lot. I said that a lot last year about your Kansas City Chiefs. Doesn't matter. What would you say? We won. So Denver, they're 1-0. The Chargers, they're 1-0. Vegas, they're 1-0. The only winless team in the AFC West is.
I love this.
Okay.
I love this energy because
it's gonna be all year. All year. I got it for you all year.
They've been putting their foot in their mouth about the Chiefs for a while, and I expect them to eat crow once again. But, it was a game here at SoFi. You were in the building for that one, Elam. The Rams were able to protect home. It was a game I thought was going to have more offense, a little more offense in it. 14-9. They get the late fumble strip with the peanut punch from who was that? That was
Nate Landman. And I told you guys, Nate Landman was somebody to watch.
Yeah, I like the linebackers, man. I wrote about it because I believe in the linebacker group. But it was a big win for them. Puka went crazy as usual. I expected a little more from Devontae Adams, but I know they're going to figure it out. They're dangerous because the Rams look like they can win multiple ways. It looked like they're going to be able to eventually win a shootout, but them to win a gritty game like this against a defense like the Texans, that was an impressive victory. You were in the building. What was the energy like? And what were people taking away from that win over the Texans?
You know what? I was first and foremost, I was shocked by the amount of Rams fans that came out, because usually opening day, nobody's out there. You know what I'm saying? The SoFi Stadium is half empty, but little by little, the Rams are doing enough to ingratiate themselves to the city. I was telling somebody in the press box, I give the Rams 2 generations and LA will be a Ram city. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I don't think it'll ever fully. It's too many Niner fans like yourself.
They're investing enough in the community. They're making their presence felt. They're doing it the right way.
So do you think, before we talk more about this game, do you think there ever be a game in the near future you show up?
Near future, no. Near future, no. Near future, no. Near future, no.
all through LA. I
Give
ran into a Niner fan.
no, it's so LA. 3 teams dominate the city: Cowboys, Raiders, Niners, bar none. Right?
Yeah.
Give the Rams in this order: Cowboys, Raiders, Niners.
Okay.
Give the Rams about another 10 years. One of those three is going to start to slip. Now, I tried to tell everybody this defense was exceptional. They pick up right where they left off. I want to say the last 7 games of last season, they've held opponents under 14 points. Listen, you talked about Devontae Adams. Hold on, I gotta make mention of this before I forget. Devontae Adams had Derek Stingley Jr. traveling with him the entire game. That's the old seatbelt. And it's crazy because Devontae, he still, had 51 yards. He had 51 yards, right? I was worried when Puka caught a pass, up the seam. I don't want to butcher Us's name, but the linebacker from the Texans puts helmet to helmet, knocks him out the game. I was like, dang, Puka's going to the tent. He's going to get tested for a concussion. He ends up coming back, 10 catches, 130 yards. Puka Nacua showed you that this team has entirely too much firepower. Entirely too much firepower. You take Devontae away, you want to rotate the coverage towards him. Puka's going to kill you underneath. You bracket Puka and put your best on Devontae. All right, it's the Kyron Williams show. Even Kyron didn't go off that much yesterday. It was really Matthew Stafford doing just enough to keep the Rams on schedule to keep the ball matriculating up the field.
That defense just for them to shut them down to 9
points. Listen, every time the Texans began to threaten, there was a big play that happened, whether it was Byron Young getting the sack, whether it was Kobe Durant, snatching the ball out the air, whether it was that peanut punch from Nate Lamon and Braden Fisk hopping on the ball. Every time the Rams defense needed a stop, I gotta give a shout out and a salute to Chris Shula. The dude called a remarkable game. So
very impressive performance by that defense. The offense did just enough. That looked like one of those playoff games. It might look similar to that at the end of the year. To win the games like that for the Rams is going to be big. One thing I did see, if I'm gonna take any negative from it, Matthew Stafford, man, he's really a big stiff dealing with this injury to where, if there's a team that can attack that, their O-line is already dealing with injuries to a couple guys. So if he gets smacked a few good times, like I think eventually we're gonna see Jimmy G. It may not be early in the season, but I think at some point he's gonna have to start a game or two because Stafford dealing with the back injury and things like that. But other than that,
I'm gonna tell you why that won't happen. Alaric Jackson is not going to be the reason why Matthew Stafford gets knocked out of a game. He's not going to let that happen. And the craziest part was AJ didn't even have a training camp. He barely had a week of practice. He goes against arguably the toughest, rushing tandem, pass rush tandem in the NFL, and looked. He didn't play great. But I know there's a lot of improvement that Alaric Jackson has. Learn the name if you do not know it. Number 77 for the Rams is going to protect Matthew Stafford. The entire season hinges upon Matthew Stafford's health, and Alaric Jackson is going to be the reason why Matthew Stafford remains healthy.
Yeah, so that's what's going to be key for them because with the weapons they have, the defense they have, they want to make sure Stafford, who's part of the 60,000 club, is healthy because he takes them to the next level. They're going to be facing off at Tennessee against the Titans, the first overall pick, Cam Ward. So, hopefully they take advantage of that and they could be looking at 2-0. So shout out to the Rams, big time victory. Defense wins championship, and we know that defense is going to be one of the best. We're going to keep it in the NFL. We just had Monday Night Football. A Southern California guy, USC former quarterback, former Heisman winner, Caleb Williams falls. He loses to the Minnesota Vikings 27-24. This looked like one of those games where it was like, oh man, the Bears, they're just, they just a slight bit better than Minnesota. JJ is just young. This is game one. He don't have it. And then all of a sudden, after he threw that pick six, a switch just lit on fire for him. And he started to get it going and found Justin Jefferson in the end zone, found Aaron Jones, and even got in the end zone himself to pick up this win. But, shout out to the Vikings. They pick up that big win, JJ's first start. But on our end, the story is Caleb Williams. And coming into year two, a lot of people were like, hey, he could make a big jump. This is Rome Odunze's second year, which he showed some stuff tonight. You got, the running game with Swift. They got some talent there. DJ Moore, the tight ends, Loveland and Cole Kemet. It's like, let's see what Caleb can do. And tonight, he looked regular. Like, I'm not going to say he looked trash because he did throw 200 yards. He had a touchdown. He also ran 6 times, 58 yards and another touchdown. But he just didn't win this matchup that you expected with him having a year under his belt. What did you think, Elam, of what we saw from the former Trojan?
You know what? It reminded me a lot of him at USC. When the games matter, the pressure mounts, Caleb Williams will always find a way to wilt. I'm thinking about the Pac-12 championship. I don't know if you were there, but I remember I was taking pictures.
In Vegas, yeah.
Yeah. Caleb didn't have the best game against Notre Dame before he came out. Caleb didn't have a great game. And it was crazy because I remember talking to a scout from an NFL team, and they were saying that I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't know. And I was telling them, Caleb Williams, A, holds on to the ball entirely too long. He's always looking for the big play, which in college you can do. And B, he doesn't read defenses and go through his progressions relatively well. I would see far too often check downs will be available, and he didn't even see it. And what did we see today? The first 15 plays, as long as they were scripted, Caleb knew where to go with the ball because those were the first 15 plays. After adjustments were made by the Vikings, Caleb looked like a shell of himself. And the craziest part is the Bears invested in the offensive line. They did enough to protect him. Caleb Williams missed throws. There was one possession, 3 straight passes, 3 straight incompletions. He had, I want to say DJ Moore. He had DJ Moore on a blown coverage, and he throws it out of bounds. You can't have that. You got to take advantage of those blown coverages, missed opportunities. And I'm seeing a lot of what I saw at USC from Caleb Williams. Now, am I saying that he won't be good? I'm not saying that. Dude's still young. He has an opportunity to learn and to grow. But right now, I am seeing exactly what I saw out of Caleb Williams that I saw at USC.
But, with him, he just has to do the simple stuff. Like, when you see the spectacular plays and him getting out the pocket and him getting away for a nice run or finding, a receiver on the run, very Mahomes, like, you still see that. But it's the simple stuff, drop backs in the pockets that you want to see the growth from. Missing that play to DJ Moore would have helped him possibly score a touchdown earlier to get
and put the game out of reach
to get a stop. But it's little things that you want to see growth. But it's just game 1, year 2 versus a rival. The Vikings came and showed up, and they did what they were supposed to do. But we want to see more from Caleb because I still believe in him. I still believe he can be a top 3 to 4 NFC quarterback within the next 2 years if he can get better and do the simple things that these young quarterbacks, high school quarterbacks, you tap in and watch this great show. Make sure you know how to do the simple things. The spectacular plays look great, but you got to know how to do the simple things. Like you said, that first 15 plays, he was finding the dump off and finding the tight end underneath to make them have to respect it. But once they got out of the scripted plays, that's when he didn't trust that as much, and he has to. But shout out to the Vikings, great win. They did what they were supposed to do. But let's kind of take you around the NFL and attack this week 1 before we take you back to LA. We got to give a shout out to the Buccaneers. They pick up the win on the road, knocking off division foe, the Atlanta Falcons 23-20. No Shedeur Sanders for the Browns. And guess what? They lose to the
17-16.
17-16. The Bengals offense looked shaky. If you had Jamar Chase or
T. Higgins or Chase Brown,
it's crazy that they didn't really give you anything. The big blowout that came out of left field to me. Daniel Jones lives 33-8. Colts knock off the Dolphins. Elam, and you can chime in whenever you want.
Okay.
I just want, go through it. Raiders pick up a win.
Now that game impressed me. Geno Smith was out there airing that thing out.
Shout
362 yards, had a tub, threw a pick, 102.8 passer rating. But Brock Bowers is an issue, man. He is an issue. And Jacoby Myers, shout out to him. 8 catches, 97 yards. Listen, there's no way of covering Brock Bowers. I know this term gets thrown out a lot, right? And we're going to talk about it. But Brock Bowers as a tight end is a true generational talent.
Okay, I like that. And what's crazy is I'm still mad at the Raiders because from the reports I was getting from my KC Connects, if he would have continued to drop in that draft, that the Chiefs was going to try to trade up and get Brock Bowers to be the future of that tight end position. And I guess the league was like, we just can't do it. Ben is saying that Brock is Kittle 2.0. Nah, he's like a mixture of Kittle and Kelsey.
Yeah,
that's why I fell in love with his game at Georgia, because I'm like, he got the shit.
There's nothing the kid can't do. There's nothing the kid can't do.
Shout out to Master Ninja. Said, can't believe Raiders ain't trade Jacoby, but he balled out regardless. Yeah, Jacoby like, hey, long as I'm on the field, I'm trying to make some money. And to do that, I need to go crazy. He caught 8 passes, 97 yards. So shout out to Master Ninja. Master Ninja, are you a black belt by any chance? Maybe it's
that's my burner. That's my burner account.
Oh, that's a burner. Okay. So let's continue to take you around the league. Cardinals knock off the Saints, picking up
that game was so pedestrian, man. I know for sure the Saints aren't doing anything. The Cardinals, man, like Kyler Murray, he's not it, bro. I'm not gonna be surprised if the Cardinals, are looking for a replacement in the next 2 years, man. Kyler Murray, 21-29. It was relatively efficient. But it was a lot of check downs, only 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, don't let the passer rating fool you. Like, Kyler Murray is not great. He's not great at all.
Yeah, and you like Trey Benson gave him something out of the run game. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's alive. 5 catches, 71 touchdown. Trey McBride, he helped me win my fantasy game. Shout out to my squad. He had 6 catches, 61 yards, but you're supposed to blow out the Saints with Rattler starting there at quarterback. But yeah, you had some more good football. We got to talk Aaron Rodgers. The guy still has the juice. But I want to give a shout out to both of those teams because
they were battling. They were battling.
The running game of the Jets looked really nice. Justin Fields, he looked really solid. He was able to sling the ball around enough. Their offense is going to be something you have to deal with because of that threat that we're going to be able to run. And we know most of the time you have a really good running quarterback, it opens up lanes for your running backs. And they have Breece Hall. They got Young, the other running back there. Like, they look really good, but it was Aaron
Garrett Wilson. Wilson. I needed more out of Garrett Wilson. He's going to want to get paid like a wide receiver 1. That 4th and 3, I think it was, when Ramsey just completely leveled him. You got to catch that ball, man. Like, and there were other passes throughout that game where it was just like, nah, you're not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got the swagger, he's got the moxie, he's got the confidence, but when it comes to game action, man, Garrett Wilson, he leaves a lot to be desired from my vantage point. From my vantage point,
7 catches, 94 yards, a touchdown.
yeah, but he has some big drops, man.
To go to that next level, you know what I'm saying? Like you can make plays like CD Lamb, but when you drop them passes, those things are gonna stand out, especially when your team loses games. So we'll see what happened there. Jacksonville was able to pick up the win.
That was a huge surprise to me, man. That was a huge surprise.
Yeah.
I did not see Jacksonville being that dynamic on offense.
Yeah, they look
and the crazy thing is Travis Etienne, I almost took him, but he's burned me, in consecutive seasons. I was like, I just can't do it. But man, good Lord, 16 carries, 143 yards. Yeah. I should have took him.
Yeah, he went crazy doing his thing, and I expected more from the Panthers and Bryce Young. So hopefully that was just a one game stinker for Carolina. They look better in week 2. The Commanders took care of home. The Giants are the Giants. Like, after seeing what Daniel Jones did versus the Dolphins, clearly the Giants were the issue in that offensive line.
Nah, it's Brian Daboll, man. Brian Daboll. If he doesn't have a winning record by week 10, week 11, the dude's getting fired, man. Brian Daboll, he's a dead man walking. This entire like administration, the GM, the coach, the coaching staff, they're all up out of there, man. At the end of this year.
But shout out to the Commanders taking care of business. Jalen Daniels doing what he does. Your 49ers pick up a big road win over Seattle. It looked bleak because first quarter, your boy Kittle goes down, and now he's week to week are going to miss a few.
He's gonna miss 2. He's gonna miss 2.
So he's gonna miss a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy gets hurt, which he may miss this week, but I expect him to play. But he goes down and leads the team and pick up a big score. You want to try to steal these early wins if you can, because about week 4 teams get hot. And
listen, man,
see who it is, but great win.
Listen, man, this offensive line, the San Francisco offensive line is poo cheese, dude. Like every snap, Brock Purdy was scrambling for his life. Brock threw 2 passes that were absolutely horrendous. The pick that I think Ernest Jones had over the middle, he was supposed to carry with Christian McCaffrey, who slipped and fell trying to chip. And when CMC fell, he just drifted to the middle of the field. But Kyle Shanahan, man, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. If Nick Moody is on, if Nick Moody is on this team come week 2 and they lose because of a field goal, there's nobody to blame but those 2. Nick Moody is terrible.
Ain't it Jake?
No, it's Nick Moody.
Oh, Nick Moody. Oh, okay, my fault. Nick Moody. But yeah, that was tough to see. Like, their O-line was looking like NFL blitz O-line. I know you play NFL blitz before, and right when you hike the ball, it's like your quarterback about to get hit. You got to get rid of it fast. So shout out to the Niners making that happen. Let's see what they can do.
No, it's Jake Moody. It's Jake Moody. It's Jake Moody. Jake Booty.
But hey, my win of the week for me is the Packers, man. What they were able to do at home versus
they look scary,
knocking them off, like weapons galore for Jordan Love. Josh Jacobs looking solid. The defense,
Jaden Reed
did their thing. Yeah, Jaden Reed. Like, they have a plethora of weapons, man, for real. Now you add Mykell to that defense. They had players flying around left and right. I'm like, who is this safety? Who is that cornerback? Edrin Cooper doing his thing as a linebacker. Like, they looked really, really good. And it's crazy that that they have a possibility to be the best team. But let me shout out my guy Ben, producer Ben. He in the chat going crazy saying Duval. Shout out to the Jags. Everyone will finally see Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. He's not.
No, he's not.
We have been waiting for Sunshine to show up.
No, he's not.
The people there in Jacksonville. So let's see. And yeah, he said Jake Moody is
Trevor Lawrence and Brian Dable. They're both on borrowed time. If the Jaguars aren't in contention for a playoff spot, there's absolutely no way that they're going to continue to move forward with Trevor Lawrence. The dude he's not good, man. I think he would be a great backup. I think he's a top tier backup, but as a starter, Trevor Lawrence is not good.
No, yeah, and we're gonna see because he has an opportunity that division other than the Texans. Wes, we got to see if the Colts are for real. But they have an opportunity if they ball out. But I really like that Packer win. They showed me a lot. I know they were at home. It's the first game back for like Aiden Hutchinson and the Lions, who were shell shocked last year after so many injuries and not getting to the Super Bowl. But the Packers look good, and Micah Parsons only played half the snaps, got a sack in there. So Green Bay is a team to look out for, especially in the NFC, to challenge the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to everybody in the chat going up.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, please, by all means, this show is for you. Engage with us. Let us know your thoughts, and you just might not only have your comment put on screen, we might pull you in. You know what I'm saying? To pull you on stage. So, by all means, interact and engage with us. This is your show.
If you got the sauce, of course, we'll show you love. But shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now doing their thing. Appreciate you guys. Whether you hate me or love me, you're part of the show, baby. But we got to talk about
no, we got to go. Hold on. The game of the week, we're going to save that one for last. Eagles, Cowboys. Okay. What is your thoughts on that game?
Man, the Cowboys showed me a lot. Like, I thought they were going to come and get smacked up, but they were able to run the ball with Javonte Williams. They showed me
stop the run.
Yeah, stop the run. CeeDee Lamb made his plays, but it's them drops. You want to
take he's not a lamb no more, man. Yeah. He's not a lamb no more.
No more
I used to tell people he was my cousin. Like, nah, man, I disowned him. Yeah, like he's CeeDee spam. You know what I'm saying? CeeDee spam. Like the dude
out. That's what's crazy, but it's just like, bro, you dropping these passes. Because Dak was balling.
Man, listen, he dropped 3 crucial ones. Crucial. You got to use your hands. Stop using your body. And the thing is, opposite of Quinyon Mitchell, I have been saying, like, the Eagles had a huge question mark at CB2. Like, I knew Cooper DeJean was going to lock down the nickel.
Yeah.
I had questions on, their safety play, and I had questions about CB2. Listen, Adoree Jackson, another Trojan. Cheese. Dude should not have been in the game. The Eagles, as long as that's a thing. Now, Howie Roseman is a freaking magician. He's a genie. He's like Veach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you keep pulling this stuff out of your hat, but it's going to take a trade to fill that fill that hole, because there's unless Stephon Gilmore or Asante Samuel Jr. Heal up and sign with the Eagles not repeating.
Yeah, just that secondary looked tough, but then you got the Mr. Hawk 2 over there, and Jalen Carter starts the game off, and he wants to, spit on Dak, where it's like, come on, man. Like,
come on, bro.
Game number 1. I know it's a rivalry game. You excited, but lock in. You need to be on that field, making your presence felt, leaving a mark on that game to let the rest of
he left the mark. He left the mark.
He left it right on Dak's jersey and nearly his face. But and that's one of the most disrespectful things that you can
listen.
Do.
I have to ask you, bro.
Yeah.
If somebody spits on you in the game, what's your response?
Squabble. It's for sure a squabble. Like, I'd rather you to hit me like Tark did Kelsey, to where it's like, oh, okay, like, oh, are you active with it? But you spit on me, like, that's one of the most disrespectful things you can do. Luckily, he didn't spit in his face. That would have been like, hey, we got to jump this dude. But he spit on his jersey, and that just is enough for somebody to still be it boom, boom, back, boom.
Listen, I would have. Listen, and I'm saying this with the utmost respect, You know me, Kels. I'm
Man.
big on respect. I say this with the utmost respect. If you spit on me, I'm not gonna get you during the game because clearly you tossed out. But I guarantee you, after the game, there's nothing going to stop me from hopping on you. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all. And I was really impressed just by just taking away from that nonsense that Jalen did. I'm such a huge fan, but it's just crazy. But just shout out to just the Cowboys looking as competitive, and Eagles took care of business. I still hate to see the tush push, but we got to deal with it.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the tush push because there are ways to stop it. I gotta see somebody go find a rugby, a rugby coach and figure out, okay, how do you stop? How do you push back? Because it's essentially just a rugby play. So you just need to get with a rugby coach. But I think the Cowboys are going to be competitive.
Yeah, they're going to be really competitive.
They're going to be competitive. Dak Prescott, he's going to throw for about 4,700 yards. Pickens, man, the dude just does dumb stuff at the most ill-advised times, dude. I'm just like, dude.
He gives him a threat, though, that down the field you have to respect. Because if you just leaving him one-on-one, he going to either get a big catch or he going to get some pass interferences on you that shifts everything. It's what they didn't have last year. Anybody that you had to respect other than CeeDee Lamb. But now that they have him, of course, still they got Jake Ferguson. The defense pass rush is going to be by committee, but I still like what they did.
They're going to have to blitz a lot, bro.
No, yeah. But, they got some solid corners that you can hope that they hold up. But I walked away from that like the Eagles are the Eagles. Let's see what that second corner spot be, because if it can be attacked, it might be getting exposed. But I walked away saying the Cowboys may be a lot better than what I thought. But let's see. It's a week by week thing.
I just want to tell Dallas fans
that's a part of their journey as Dallas Cowboy fans.
I love it.
Shout
out to you, Jude. Shout out to you.
Just like yourself, they haven't seen their team win the Super Bowl since Rugrats was a big thing on TV.
Come on, man. Shut up, dude. Everybody doesn't have zebras in the back pocket, bro.
Let's talk about it. I wish we had the zebras in that first game, because there's some holdings that they for sure missed. I'm going to send you to all 22, and you tell me what you think.
I got it. I'll give you my login.
But the big game of the week, man, the Buffalo Bills came from the grave.
Man.
Caught the Ravens 41-40. And, of course, it was going to be the gas fest. They're talking up Josh Allen again. Is he the best quarterback?
Is he the MVP?
The MVP. It's just crazy. But like I said, it's week one. I don't take too much from it. It's a great win. I need to see more from the Ravens and see them win. But it's week one. Funny things happen. This week one game is going to mean nothing in the playoffs. It's just going to be a moment for Josh Allen if he goes and try to win another MVP. But, it was just a crazy game to watch.
You know what? I'm like 33 of 46, 394 yards, 2 tutties. Josh Allen was out there slanging that thing. Keon Coleman, 8 receptions, 112 yards. Khalil Shakir, 6 for 64. He spread the ball around. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was getting action. But it's like Lamar, man. You got 3 MVPs. You have to find out, how do you close out games? You know what I'm saying? Isn't it 3? I know you got 2.
Okay, yeah, I think it's 2, but damn, if he had 3, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, dog, that was the issue. You've had the last 3 playoffs. You've been in a position to win, and you just can't close. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a basketball player who's touted for his greatness, but has a losing record when it matters most, man. I can't think of the name, but
I can't put all the blame on him because nobody expected Derrick Henry to fumble the way that he did. So that comeback to hurt them. And then man, I always say it. The Ravens don't give him enough weapons. Like D-Hop made a hell of a catch.
What are you talking about?
He's a shell of himself. Other than
He's got Mark Andrews, he's got D-Hop, he's got Zay Flowers, he's got Derrick Henry. He has his own legs. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and start making excuses for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has more than enough to win. He has more than enough to win.
We gotta see more, but it's just week 1. So make sure y'all tap in with us. If you're an NFL fan, we're gonna have y'all covered week in, week out, talking the NFL. Of course, the LA teams gonna get a lot of love, but we're gonna talk the entire NFL. But we're gonna keep it on the gridiron. Let's take this thing back to our coast. We take you from the East Coast back to our coast here in LA. College football week 2 happened, and USC, man, like they might be a little bit of something. Like Clay Helton came in there with Georgia Southern, and that offense was humming once again. Jaden Mayava looked incredible. Jacoby Lane with the catch of the year, most likely that catch was
it's
insane.
Still early. Still
early though, so something can happen, but that catch was crazy. Then Mykell Lemon, he's becoming one of my favorite guys in all of college. Like he looks like you said, like an Amon-Ra type of guy. He's not quite Jamar Chase, but he has that type of ability, and he had a big game.
He don't have that speed.
He don't probably got the speed, but he got wiggle, and he be making plays in a running game. Wayman Jordan. Trojans look. I know they play some bums, but that offense I said it last week. The offense has speed that they didn't have last year, and we know that speed. If you can hang with anybody, if you have speed, and they're going to have a chance. I know we're going to learn a lot from them this week against Purdue, but man, hell of a performance these first 2 weeks, Elam.
You know what? And despite the success that they're having, there's a lot that I'm like, SC fans gotta be like cautious about getting their expectations too high, man. Like Jaden was missing a lot of like open passes. He's not throwing with the anticipation. He's not throwing, with like a ton of accuracy. It's like, dude, like, are you going through your progressions? And I even asked, Mykell Lemon, is Jaden is he going through his progressions, or is he just finding the open man? Because there were times where it was like Lake McCree is coming open. All you got to do is throw the ball and lead him. Nope, He doesn't throw it. If he's not open, he's not throwing it. And so there are things that I saw where I'm just like, I don't see it. Like the run defense, man, the run fits. Like as the season progresses, Michigan is going to run on them. You know what I'm saying? Like Michigan State is probably going to run on them. Notre Dame is definitely going to run on them. So there's, I listen, celebrate it. It's 2-0. But as the season progresses, Michigan State, Illinois, Michigan, Notre Dame, Nebraska, that could be 5 consecutive losses. And I'm telling you, Oregon is going to be able to do the same thing. So,
of course, they're going to have to be ready. People in the chat, they don't believe in Jaden as well. They think that it has a chance to be a repeat of last year, but all you can do is take care of business with who you got in front of you. And they did that, and they had some impressive moments, scoring 50 plus in back-to-back games. Impressive, but we're going to learn more about them. They traveled to Purdue, which is
easy win.
Hey, it's the Big Ten. Purdue's 2-0. So you want to see USC still going there with that confidence and light it up. But take it a game at a time, see what's going to happen. But it's a lot of things that they have to fix because
I need to see more.
The Michigan State week 4 come to the house.
Yeah, I need to see more out of the linebackers though. Like, I need to see more out of the linebackers. Like, that is a huge question mark. They haven't really been tested. And when they have been, like, there have been chunk plays made by teams that shouldn't be getting chunk plays. So, hopefully Rob Ryan can coach them up and get them up to speed, because right now, man, the linebacking core, I'm just like, ooh, against better competition, it's going to be a long day.
And they, so we're gonna learn a lot about them. So we gonna like their test is incomplete. So we'll put their test to the side. And so I'm gonna come back to that and I'm gonna have to regrade it to see exactly what's going down with USC. But we gotta talk about these Bruins, Elam, because oh my gosh, I'm like, okay, they should go up to UNLV. It's gonna be a little tough because they are UCLA, but they should walk away with a win. They lose 30-23 at Allegiant Stadium versus the running Rebels, and Nico has the ball late and has a chance to go and tie it. Throws an interception. Man, I don't know really what to say. Like, is he the future? Is he somebody that can, of course, he doesn't have the greatest of talent around him, which is going to impact any quarterback. But you want to see something, and versus a UNLV team, you will feel like y'all should have enough, but it wasn't enough. Like, I don't really know what to think about Nico right now. What's your thoughts, E?
You know what? When he was at Warren, shout out to my cousin JoJo. I wasn't really high on him, and what I saw at Tennessee last year, I was like, it was the same exact thing that I saw at Warren. Listen, he has the ability to spin the ball. He has great arm talent. I'm not taking that away from him. When it comes to playing the position, being able to read a defense, making quick decisions, analyzing, I haven't seen it from him. Now, granted, you just said it's not like he has a ton of talent around him, but do you know why there's not a ton of talent around him?
He's at UCLA.
He's at UCLA. And Martin Jarmine, I keep trying to tell you, until UCLA gets serious about NIL, UCLA is going to be terrible, not just at football, but at every sport. We live in an era where you have to pay players to get them on campus. You have to. The name brand recognition doesn't mean anything. If you were trying to attract future brain neuroscientists and political science majors and all that type of stuff, cool. UCLA has the brand and the cachet and the ability to get people on campus. But we're not talking academics. We're talking sports.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, there are a immense number of alum, and as a proud alum, I am embarrassed. This is like absolutely atrocious. This is despicable. This is deplorable. UCLA at the current juncture should not even have a football team. They don't deserve it.
Yeah, it's other than softball on the women's side and basketball on the women's side, like it's a struggle over there for UCLA, especially when it thinks football, which is such a big sport. But the question, just like they're saying in the chat, man, when you look at this schedule, I know they got New Mexico at home Friday night, which you would think hopefully could be a win. But if they can't make it happen there, it's going to be like, will they win a game this season?
Northwestern, looking at the schedule right now, I think New Mexico beats them. The only game that I think that they actually should be favored is Northwestern. But the thing is, Northwestern, from year to year, they can be whatever. And right now, Northwestern is 1-1. They actually won a game.
Yeah. So it's going to be a talk, and you feel bad for Coach Foster, even though, I'm pretty sure you agree with me. I always felt he was a stopgap guy. They were just like, Chip got out of here. We need to figure out something. Let's go get an alumni who played in the pros and got a little coaching experience, and let's give him an opportunity until we can figure out our big move. But, man, Foster, it may look really ugly this year.
And the crazy part is he's not even getting a fair shake, dude.
No, of course.
He's not even getting a fair shake.
They're not getting players. I don't give a damn who you are in any sport. You can have the greatest coach that you can think of. Look at Bill Belichick with North Carolina.
Well,
right?
Bill Belichick is killing his own legacy.
Yeah, but if you don't got the talent, man, like it's just hard to be impactful and win games. And UCLA, last year they had some talent, right? 2 years ago they had some talent. This year, I'm looking at that roster. I'm just like, man, we could throw producer Ben at quarterback, put you at tight end, me at slot receiver, and we might can do a little better than what they have. But it's just a roster that just doesn't look great. And that leads to L's. And like you said, other than New Mexico and Northwestern, they got Penn State at Michigan State, Maryland at Indiana, Nebraska at Ohio State, Washington at USC. They might easily, if they take care of business versus the teams that they could beat, they might be 1-11, 2-10, or have a possibility of going
winless,
12, which is crazy.
Crazy. And you can't be a Big Ten school and not win a game. And not win a game.
They're gonna send their ass back to the Pac-12. It's like, man, y'all take them back.
No, they getting ready to. Listen, dude. I think the worst team in each conference needs to get relegated to the FBS or FCS, and you pull up, the North Dakota states. You pull up the top tier teams in the FCS and put them in the FBS.
Yeah, that's funny. They're gonna be playing like against some what is it? NAIA. So
because right now I think Inglewood High School and Lusinger and Dorsey, Dorsey could beat these dudes.
Blue House for sure smacking them up, but they got a chance Friday night. They're at home against New Mexico. Let's see what's gonna happen. And then for you guys who just follow all of college football, some big games this weekend. You have Clemson at undefeated Georgia Tech. You have Georgia at Tennessee, which should be a big-time game. You got South Florida after upsetting the Gators in Gainesville. They travel to Miami. Can they make it 2 straight? My guy Arch Manning with the bounce back. He's back at home against UTEP. You got Florida going against LSU, Texas A&M at Notre Dame, and Vanderbilt at South Carolina. So it's going to be some really good games there. Shout out to Oklahoma picking up the win versus Michigan last week. But yeah, man, college football is in full flow.
Hey, man, I'm gonna say this: if USF or UCF is able to beat Miami, USF is able to beat Miami, they should be the number 1 team in the league or number 1 team in the nation. Like
what in the country?
Yeah, man. USF is the real deal, bro. But they got to be Miami. I'm surprised you didn't give a shout out to your team, man, Florida State.
We had a cakewalk, so I can't really praise them too much for that. I only talk about the big games, man.
Oh, okay.
So I can't really talk too much about that, but that you might just say one of the craziest things I ever heard you say. South Florida as number 1 in the country. That's crazy.
Hey, man.
If they knock off Miami, it's going to be – you're going to have to talk about them more, but I think Carson Beck and them guys ready to work. But that's it for our college football talk and football talk in general for a minute. Let's talk. Got to give a shout out. We're taking you to the hardwood, baby. Give a shout out to some Lakers who went into the Hall of Fame. It is, for the Laker fans out there, we take claim of everybody that wore that purple and gold. Dwight Howard is now a Hall of Famer 2-time because of what else? The Redeem team getting in there. But Carmelo, he was in there. Didn't know he was Puerto Rican. Learned more about Carmelo this weekend. So that was very interesting. A lot of people had things to say about him shouting out his Puerto Rican heritage. But then once again, the Redeem team got into the Hall of Fame, which was led by, of course, Mamba, the late, great Kobe Bryant, who says, I'm tired of seeing y'all lose. Let me come bring this back to the States. And they were able to do exactly that. I'm still shout out to the class. I'm still at a point to where I want to see one day, hopefully before my life is done, I want to see an NBA Hall of Fame because I love the Redeem team going in and stuff like that. But, if you're an NBA fan, you like what that got to do with anything. But right now, it's just a basketball Hall of Fame. So kudos to those guys making their dreams come true. Shout out to Sue Bird, who got into there. Maya Moore, who also was a name that was inducted into it. And then
I did have a problem though. There was something that somebody said that
we talking about it, baby. Let's talk about it.
They said, and they got in on the Redeem team. They're still an active player, right? Mm-hmm. But they said Jason Kidd is the only basketball player that has gone undefeated internationally that has played for the United States Olympic team. I don't know what it is, but it's like it's a concerted effort to literally hate on Kobe Bryant right now. Like that's the in vogue thing. It's rage bait and it's hate on Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant went 36-0.
36-0, 2 gold medals. What are we talking about?
And he had to come save the Redeem team. He had to come save the Redeem team.
Yeah.
And there's another person, the actual GOAT.
And his may be more impressive, his 30-0, because MJ
He did it out of college.
Yeah, not only did he win with the Dream Team, which we all know, and they got it going with the NBA, but he was playing with college players. He did have a young David Robinson and some other
Danny Manning.
Yeah, Danny Manning, but
Patrick Ewing.
College players playing against grown men and adults, and to do that, I think that's very legendary. And there's a lot of guys who went undefeated, who played it. But you know how LeBron is. He's gonna give a shout out to the guys on stage, just like Mickey Arson, who I believe that's his name, from Miami, from the Heat. He got inducted and he said, you know, I got promised not one, not two, maybe just two. That was a funny moment because LeBron, they put the camera on him, and I know he probably like
was steaming. He was hot.
Yeah, he was hot. He wasn't a fan. But speaking of LeBron James, who's always in the news, and I tell people all the time, LeBron James will continue to be the face and talk of the sport until he retires. The league can't move on till he decides to move. I got into a debate today on X with a bunch of LeBron fans.
With the Church of Bron?
Yeah, Church of Bron, because I'm telling him, I said, bro, the game is not going to move to what's next until he retires. As long as he's playing, they like, people are winning MVPs and championship. I know, but we still talk about LeBron. And Brian Windhurst came out today and says that LeBron is undecided. It became the news of the day when it comes to the game of basketball, that he's undecided of how long he's going to play. And I'm at the point with it when it comes to LeBron. You said it last year. Shout out to our girl, Lauren Jones, Lojo Media, friend of the show. She asked a question, what more do you have to prove? And the man said, I got nothing else to prove. That right there let me know, why are you still
playing?
If you don't have anything to prove, what we expect to hear as fans of the game, Laker fans, we wanted to hear, man, I'm trying to get 5.
I'm trying to get 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6. I want to try to get as many as I can before I get out of here. But for you to say you have nothing to prove, it's like, what are you playing for?
That was the moment that I washed my hands, bro.
Yeah,
that was I tried to get behind and be like, all right, cool. You know, he's on the team. I'm gonna treat him and welcome him with open arms as a Laker. But when I heard him say that, when I heard LeBron James say that he didn't have anything else to play for, I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing here?
And then people are like, so what you expect him to do? I'm like, first of all, you 43 years old. If you really want to win, you should have took a pay cut. You're already a billionaire. I know I don't like to talk about people's pockets, but you're already a billionaire. You would have showed a lot of people, I truly want to win. I'm going to take this pay cut. Let's go and get as good of talent I couldn't get around me and Luka, who's looking amazing over there in EuroLeague basketball. And let's go.
But Luka wasn't even here at the point.
Yeah. No, yeah, facts. So it's crazy, man. But hey, let us know in the comments. You can always hit us up. We see people are tapping in, watching us live. Hit us up in the comments. What y'all think? Should LeBron be calling it quits soon? Or do y'all want to see more LeBron? I had people on X saying, hey, I hope he plays until 45, 46. He's still a all-NBA guy. He's still this.
He shouldn't have been an all-NBA guy. He did not deserve being on the all-NBA team last year.
The best player on the team. Like I'm like, it was AD first, then it became Luka. He's the secondary guy. He got his numbers, which he's gonna do. To me, he's the most physically gifted basketball player we've ever seen. But you know, it's not leading to victories at this moment anymore. What more are you doing it for? Hell, I would rather him come out and say, hey, I want to play one more year. Hopefully Bryce can get into the league, share the floor with Bryce, whether he's on my team or play against him, and then I'm done. But we know that he's going to want a retirement tour. So I would love for him to announce
I'm
this.
just ready for him to go, man. And not necessarily out the league. I think the league is they have to do a better job at preparing viewership for the next iteration of the NBA. But
Yeah.
as long as you have like your Stephs, your LeBrons, your CP3s, like you got to hold on to them. But I am ready for him to get off the Lakers. He can stay in LA. He can go to the Clippers. You already at the facility. You stretching. You doing Pilates. You doing all that at the Honey. You know what I'm saying? Training facility. Hey, just go to Intuit.
I just think that if he were because when MJ left, it left that little void for them years to where it was like, oh, Duncan got him a championship. Is he the next guy? Oh, Shaq finally got it. Kobe, this young Kobe kid is the one, and MJ ended up coming back during their run. But that little period, you were able to see who were the next guys, KG, AI doing it. But until LeBron walks away, you can't really push people to the floor. ESPN ain't putting nobody else but LeBron on TV. I know Cooper Flag is a name that people talking about in the chat that could possibly be somebody, but until LeBron is retired and out the league, you can't really move forward because his game isn't number one anymore, but his brand is bigger.
But there's so much more than just LeBron that has to get factored in. I think with the style of play, right, the pace of play, you know, the no mid range anymore, with the exception of like Oklahoma City. Like there aren't really a lot of teams that shoot mid range shots anymore. So everything is literally three or at the rim. That's not something that I want to watch. And as a journalist, having to go to games, I'm like, I don't want to watch that. You know what I'm saying? Like it to me, it's not exciting. It's not championship basketball. I think the mid range is the championship shot. I was tracking it up until Tyrese Halliburton got injured, but the reason why that series was so competitive is because there was persistent mid-range shots being taken and made. Without that, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
And that's just the way of the game. But LeBron is undecided. I'm hoping he makes his decision sooner than later. If you're not chasing rings, man, what are you playing for? I know you loving the money. You can still do it, but a guy like Tom Brady could probably play till he was 50. But it's like, okay, what am I still doing here? Where I need to try to figure out what I'm gonna be doing after basketball, and that's where I think LeBron should be with it. But we'll see. We'll see what he ends up deciding. But I know we're gonna keep our eyes on that. But Elam, on Sunday, you were in SoFi. I was over there at the crypto.com arena checking out the Sparks do their thing and hold on for dear life to their playoff hopes. They didn't allow Paige to go crazy. 6 players in double figures. Julie Alaman had 25 and 4. She was perfect.
8 and 8.
And 8 and 8. Her things. But I was able to talk to KP before the game, and here's what she had to say.
So, Kelsey, I asked the coach about you guys' psyche here after a tough 2 games on a roll here as you guys finish the season. As one of the leaders, what have you seen from your group as far as the focus they have to finish the season?
Yeah, I mean, you take it one game at a time, right? Dallas is, I mean, I know the record is something, but they've been in a lot of close games, going down to the wire, and they're a really good team. Obviously, Paige is a great player, so, we have our hands full tonight, so we're going to focus on tonight.
And when it comes to yourself, with your first year here with the Sparks, you've been really embraced by the city of LA. Can you just talk about that feelings and how you're able to carry it out on the floor?
I'm super grateful for that. California native, I take a lot of pride in being from California and representing, and so, as this continues to go, just, continue to build and try to create a culture here that, the fans are proud of, and we represent LA with pride.
Yeah, so shout out to KP, man. Like she talked about it, like we're coming in here focused. Like there's still a chance for us to get into the playoffs. We're going to try to come in there and work, and they did that. It was a little scary in that third quarter, because they went from having a nice lead to the Dallas Wings getting right back in it. But then they went crazy in that fourth. Ray Burrell damn near dunked. I was like, oh, I wish my guy E was here. But I know the Misfits, we outside with it, baby. So you was at SoFi, but Ray Burrell scored 13 in the fourth. She did a hell of a job, and the Sparks still have a chance. KP, she's dealing with a little injury. She's questionable for tomorrow's matchup versus the Mercury. Rakia is dealing with her ailment as well.
Yeah, her ankle.
Yeah, her ankle. So, we got to see. They need some help. They got to win these last two, and they need the Storm to lose tomorrow against the Valkyries, who has finished the season really strong. But give yourself a fighting chance, man.
Hey, man, listen. I hate to say it. The season is getting ready to come to an end tomorrow, man. Satu Sabali and Alyssa Thomas are going to ensure that they leave their arena victorious tomorrow. I kept saying this at the beginning of the season. They needed to play better defense. That has been the Sparks' kryptonite the entire year, unless for some unseen event that Cam Brink and Ray Burrell just go nuclear and the Sparks are able to knock down, 15 3-pointers, they're going to lose tomorrow.
And Coach Lynn Roberts did some new things. She played Sarah Ashley Barker with Ray, with Julie, with Azare, and De'Erica on the floor, or even Cam switching off for De'Erica, to where she gave them some, a defensive squad, and that's what helped them get the lead that they had. Like, that's why they didn't even have to go back to Kelsey Plum or Rakia. They were able to just keep that lineup because they were just hounding, getting steals, just being active. So I expect to possibly see that lineup. But, it's going to be a tall task because you got to beat a Mercury team that's competing to be the second seed.
And then you got an MVP candidate that's coming in to Forever Stables, and she and Becky Hammond are going to do what they got to do because they still competing for the number 2.
Yeah, they still competing. And then Sparks could maybe upset the Mercury tomorrow and surprise a lot of people, which I hope happen. The Storm can be like, hey, let's beat the Valkyries and for sure our spot into these playoffs, to where that final game is null and void. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens there. But I'm going to be locked in. The Misfits are going to be locked in into it. Before we go, we got to talk about something that we wanted to discuss, and we mentioned earlier: generational talent. You hear that word tossed around in sports, and when you hear it, you're like, okay, this guy's a generational talent, that guy's a generational talent. And the reason why it's really been discussed, because it was a word thrown at Arch Manning coming into this year, until pretty much he had that dud in the opener against the Ohio State Buckeyes. But I wanted to know, Elam, let's talk about it. When you hear generational talent, and we're not just thinking of football, we're thinking about all of sports. I think it's a title just like GOAT, right? When you hear GOAT,
overused, baby GOAT, GOAT of this era. No, GOAT is greatest, singular of all time. That's all inclusive.
And once you hear these terms, it's kind of like, what the hell is going on? So my question to you, Elam, when you think of generational talent, what are the things that you need to be a generational talent?
You have to have consistent dominance. Like every time you step on the field, every time you step on the diamond, every time you step on the hardwood, it's like that's the guy or that's the girl. And generational talents don't come around often. You know what I'm saying? Like, it when you see it. Juju Watkins, generational talent. Paige Beckers, generational talent. Bo Jackson, generational talent. Barry Sanders, generational talent. So it's I think the term is conflated because we live in an era where Instagram reels and highlights dominate the social media landscape, but it's a lot of these dudes, they look good on social media, But when they, everything looks like a Bentley, a Chrysler 300 looks like a Bentley until a Bentley pulls up next to it. And so I think far too often people are becoming enamored with Chrysler 300s, and then when a Bentley pulls up, when a Phantom pulls up next to it, it's like, oh no, there's a real difference.
I think a big issue too is that when people see a player that becomes an all-time great, maybe even become the greatest, they think, oh, that was a generational talent. To where no, like I think the prerequisites for a generational talent is if you're a guy that was a top 3 to 5 pick in your draft, and coming out, people said this guy is a can't miss prospect. We expect him to be great. So a guy like Tom Brady, who a lot of us view as the greatest quarterback of all time, I don't think he was a generational talent. I just think that he put in the work and he made himself into possibly the greatest quarterback of all time. Kobe Bryant is another guy. He was a 13th overall pick in his draft. He was a guy that put in the work and became this special player. But a guy like, somebody said it in the chat, like a guy like Tim Duncan, who he's a borderline guy because yes, he was a first overall pick, but he was a guy that played 4 years in college, and had to get to that. But a guy like LeBron James, generational talent. A guy like Wemby, generational talent, right? When you see a quarterback that, and some of these generational talents sometimes don't even pan out, because I think generational talent is more of physical gifts. We look at the physical gifts that you have at that sport that makes you stand out more than most of the young talent that you see, to where most of those guys pan out and become one of the greatest in baseball. A guy like Shohei Ohtani, you knew, man, this guy is going to be something. I'm trying to think who like some other baseball talent, like a guy like King Griffey. You knew, hey, this guy is going to be a stud, 5'2" player. A-Rod, these guys that were high picks in their draft. And I think people don't understand. So, like, when you look at Arch Manning, the reason why
he's not a generational talent. The dude is poo cheese.
Because physically, he might become a Pro Bowl quarterback, maybe, but he doesn't have those physical attributes that you see.
There's no dominance. There's no dominance. Like looking at Sean Taylor in college. Sean Taylor was always the best player on the field. Always. When you look at Ndamukong Suh, he was always the best player anytime he stepped on the field. So when I think of generational talent, that's what I'm thinking of, right? I'm thinking of it's not debatable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unequivocal dominance. That's what I'm looking for. Like you could say Tim Duncan was an all-time great, but Tim Duncan, he wasn't always the best player on the court. Yeah. Like not always. Like Bo Jackson, when he stepped on the field, Bo Jackson was always the best player. And so looking at Arch Manning, there's nothing about Arch Manning today where I'm like, oh, that kid is different. Like, he's not even better than Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence were in college. He's not better than Tim Tebow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta pump the brakes on just throwing that term like, oh, this person is a generational talent, because generational talents really do not come around often, and when they do, you can notice them. Like everybody notices them,
and from day one you see them and you expect them to go off. Like Trevor Lawrence is close because as a freshman he came in and was crazy, and that's why going into the league it was like, yo, strong arm, very mobile, big body. He looks like a guy that can be that. We still haven't seen it yet, but he can be someone that you can consider a generational talent, because from a young age, Adrian Peterson, I can remember being in high school back in the day, and people were like, man, this dude can get drafted out of high school and be great. And you saw him become exactly that. Like a guy like Jamar Chase, you saw it from, 5 stars.
Jamar Chase not a generational talent, though.
No?
Nah. I think the last I would say receivers that I thought were generational talents.
Calvin Johnson,
Larry Fitzgerald.
But Jamal was a top 5 pick. Like you knew
Jamar was a top 5 pick, but Jamar Chase, I don't see he's going to go down as an all-time great, but he does not have generational talent.
Okay, but hey, we trying to figure it out. We don't know for sure, but we know some things that put you in that lane. And I love Arch Manning. I think he's going to be a hell of a quarterback, but he's not a generational talent that has this physical ability that's undeniable that he's going to be a for sure bullseye whenever he's drafted. He's somebody that can be a first overall pick, but he's going to have to put in work to become that. Like Patrick Mahomes, he wasn't even a generational talent.
That's my point. When we're talking about generational talents, they don't come around often. And that's what makes and compels us to take time to pause and say, yo, this person is different. Like what's my guy that won all the awards at the Olympics? Mykell Phelps. Yeah. Mykell Phelps is a generational talent, right? Like I didn't know he was off the sauce, but Lance Armstrong was a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan, like these Wayne Gretzky, Alexander Ovechkin. These dudes make I don't even watch hockey and I know who Alexander Ovechkin is. Connor McDavid. Yeah.
He's another guy. In boxing, you have the Floyd Mayweather,
Mike Tyson's.
Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, to where from a young age you like this guy is going to be great. And that's exactly what they become because they are a generational talent. So remember,
shout out to producer Ben. Yes, you are correct. Tommy Frazier. Yes, generational talent at quarterback. I agree.
Probably we couldn't see it in the pros, so I couldn't tell you to the max, but he was a hell of a college player. We got somebody said Buster Posey. You agree with that one?
Buster Posey?
Yeah, he was a great catcher, but
I wouldn't say if I'm looking at catchers, if I'm looking at catchers, I would say Pudge Rodriguez was a generational talent. Yeah. No.
Okay.
No. Terrible call. Terrible call. Oh my god, dude! Buster Posey is the greatest two-way catcher to ever play baseball.
What about
the guy batted 305 his whole career?
He has a challenge with the kid from the Mariners who's going.
Oh, Cal Riley.
Cal Riley, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't think
with the Twins. What was his name with the Twins? That was really good. He was a quarterback at Florida State, or he could have been
Charlie Ward.
Baseball. No. What's his name? He was a really good catcher. Ben, look that up. What's that guy
right now?
He was a really good
I can't you just want Buster Posey to be in the conversation because you're a Giants fan. Listen, dude.
It's not even that. That guy was actually so good. Rookie of the year. He's got multiple Silver Sluggers. He's got 3 rings, multiple MVPs. He is the best two-way catcher to play baseball in at least the last 40 years and definitely in the modern era.
Joe Meyer. That's what I'm talking about. Joe Meyer.
Oh, Mauer, yeah. Wasn't he on the juice too? No, he got injured. Yeah,
but he was the guy that batted 306, winning AL MVP, 3-time Gold Gloves. That dude was special.
Nah. I mean, Buster Posey is an all-time great Hall of Famer, but generational talent.
He's
baseball. Baseball.
He played 1 year at Florida State, got bumped right up, won a World Series first year.
Yeah. Baseball is a little tougher to see that.
Fighting your way out of the mud at 19 to win a ring is ridiculous.
Yeah, Ken Griffey was the last generational talent to MLB. Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is a generational talent. Buster Posey, no one is going to put Buster Posey in the same sentence as Shohei Ohtani.
Ever in history.
Ever.
So you don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Get out of here talking about Buster Posey.
He was that good.
Block him. Somebody
get out of here. Get out of here, man.
How do we get him out of here? But we got a Buster Posey shout out. See, we show love to the Bay sometimes too. So even a guy like Steph Curry, greatest shooter ever, he's not a generational talent. He's 6'2", he's fragile ankles.
I don't know, man.
Now
I think
he has a tool that has become legendary.
Yeah.
he was like coming out of the draft. It wasn't a for sure thing. You know, generational talent to me, even once you were in college.
Now, the caveat that you gave that you have to be a top 3 pick, I will agree with that. Based on that criteria is why I wouldn't include Steph. But
Yeah.
Steph was the dude at Davidson.
No, I
With the
know
stuff that he was doing at Davidson, I was like, this dude is different.
but nobody expected that to carry over. Like it was like,
why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
That's why he went number 9. If not, he would have went number 1.
I got that. It was because he was so slight, though. It was because he was so slight.
But that's why I think that's why you can't say he's like generational is Magic, Shaq, Kareem, MJ, Olajuwon, you know, guys like that, Wemby, LeBron, guys that the physical gifts are like, wow. And from their youth, you were like, this guy is going to be great for the next 20. Like a lot of people were unsure about Steph because, like, is he a point guard? Can he play that? Is he too small? And he just proved a lot of people. It's like Kobe. People, man, you're not taking no kid out of high school that's a guard. Like he thinks he's MJ. Like it's not going to work. And then the dude comes out to be probably the most skilled basketball player ever. So, man, it's a topic that's going to be talked about for a while, and you're going to hear it, and you're going to hear it for us. Before we go, I got to tackle this. This is very important to me because I felt like Ryan Clark was attacking us in this business who work, who looks at tape, who studies these games, these players, and he has some things to say about Peter Schrager, who has moved over from the NFL Network to ESPN. Schrager, my fault, Schrager, super Chiefs guy. So shout out to him. And he had his beef, and he was pretty much, and even Peter had to get at him and like, bro, just because I wasn't a pro, but you don't think I can have an opinion on this. And Ryan Clark he used a move that I feel a lot of players try to use to us journalists who didn't make it and weren't pros and things like that to say, you didn't play, you can't tell me about it. I know, Elam, you were going to have something to say about this. So what's your thoughts on that whole situation?
You know what? I honestly could see it from both vantage points. As a journalist, as someone who didn't make it to the professional levels, I do have insight to the game. It's, you know, in any sport, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very analytical person. I'm a very curious person. So I see things in a particular vein that most journalists and most people don't. So, you know, to completely discredit me because I never donned a helmet and shoulder pass in the NFL, it doesn't discredit what I see, right? And then I think what RC was saying was that as a player, you'd rather get the win and have a pedestrian / mediocre game than ball out and have the game that CeeDee Lamb had in a loss. I think that's what Ryan Clark was trying to say. Now, I'm not going to speak for Ryan Clark because I'm not Ryan, so I'm going to allow him to speak for himself. But that's what I can surmise from that interaction, that Ryan was trying to make one point that kind of got lost in how he delivered it. And Schrag was right. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I'm a journalist doesn't mean that I don't have an opinion. And Pete is not coming from the vantage point of like, oh, you know, my fantasy football team. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude actually knows ball.
Facts, yeah. And I think that's why that situation touched a lot of journalists who had opinions and things to say about it online. It was because it's like, yo, I'm putting in the hours. You know, maybe I didn't make it to the professional level, but I played, you know, at some point in my life. And, you know, I put in the time, and you can't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, that my opinion doesn't matter. Journalists aren't on TV like, bro, you are an athlete. You play the game. You don't know what the hell you're doing in front of the screen. It doesn't work like that because we know that these athletes come in, put their time to get themselves to become maybe not fully journalists, but journalists-like and gain.
I can't even say journalists-like.
Because they're not the real thing. They're not writing and all that, but they can get on. They can be broadcast journalists, right? Because they can be
analysts. They can be color commentators.
Yeah, but some of them become like Ma Rashad and others that become really great at what they do.
I'm not gonna let you sit up here and slander, you know what I'm saying, the profession. Everybody cannot do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Just because you played the game does not mean that you're able to adequately convey a story, tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a ton of journalists that ask dumb questions. And I'm of the ilk that there is no stupid question, but there are sometimes I'm sitting in press conferences and I'm just like, yo, dude, I know you didn't just ask that. That was a horrible question.
Yeah, a player just lost the game and you asking them about
how they feel about a loss.
Oh yeah, all right. What did you eat today? Your favorite food, something like that. Like that's crazy. But you know, we are pros at what we do. Like you were once pros. We respect you guys as being pros. Respect the professional journalists like Peter and the others that do their jobs, because like I said, we put in the hours. I even feel a certain way that some of these athletes are great at what they do as far as playing it, but they minds weren't really great when they played it. They were just great athletes, running 4.4, 35, 38, 39, 40-inch vert and things like that helped them. But I know the haters in the chat saying that is Mykell a pro. I'm a pro's pro, baby.
Mykell doesn't get much right. He suffers from Mathieu suffers from broken clock syndrome. He's only right twice a day.
Check the tape before Patrick.
We already checked the tape. You were wrong.
Before Patrick Mahomes ever started an NFL game, I said he will be the next Aaron Rodgers or better. He has become the next Aaron Rodgers or better. So I get things right, baby.
Hey, real quick. NFL picks.
Oh, let's get our picks. All right.
Yeah, picks for the week. We're gonna see. Now we're going to see that we have a record. All right. We're gonna start with Rams Titans. Who do you have?
Rams Titans. That's easy. I'm going with the tenant. Nah, I'm joking. Los Angeles Rams of Inglewood. They're going to win that game. But we gotta start with Thursday night football. So I got Rams. You got Rams?
Yeah, I got Rams.
Okay, Thursday night football. Commanders at Green Bay. I'm gonna go Green Bay. I think Green Bay take care of home.
Man, I'm going Washington.
Ooh, okay. Jaguars, Bengals is in Cincinnati.
I think that's unanimous. We both going Bengals.
Yep. Okay. Giants, Cowboys. That's easy.
Easy money.
Easy money. I'm going Cowboys. Bears at Lions. Easy money.
Oh,
Lions.
I think the Bears are going to win this one, man.
Wow. I'm going Lions in Detroit. Producer Ben, make sure you got this jotted down because I'm winning this week. Patriots at Dolphins. Ooh, that's the tough one.
No, it's not. It's going to be the Patriots.
I'm going to go Miami at home. I think after that embarrassment, either they're going to look terrible and get blown out again.
Yeah, it's going to be the Patriots are going to win.
Niners at Saints. I got to see that injury report because if there's no Brock Purdy, there's already no Kittle. I don't know. But I'm going to go Niners because Spencer Rattler is the starter for the Saints, and I don't trust it.
You know what? I think is going to be more of a defensive battle than anything. I think this game comes down to a kick, and Jake Moody's going to miss it. I'm going to go Saints.
Oh, what?
Yeah, man.
We got Buffalo at the Jets. I'm going Buffalo. Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'm going Buffalo.
Too crazy. Seattle at Pittsburgh.
Give me Pitt.
Yeah, I like Aaron Rodgers at home. Browns at Ravens. I'm going Ravens.
Ravens.
Broncos at Colts. Ooh.
Hey, man, that Denver defense is different.
Hey, I'm going to go with the home team. I think Daniel Jones,
man,
finally has an offensive line. And he's
give me the ponies, man. Give me the ponies.
I'm going to go Colts. Panthers, Cardinals. I'm going a lot.
Give me Arizona. I'll take Arizona.
Then you have Falcons, Vikings Sunday night.
I like what I saw out of Mike Penix, man. Give me Atlanta.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the road team there. I think Mike Penix makes it happen. Buccaneers at Texans.
Man, CJ Stroud, no way in the world that they lose. They start the season 0-2.
Tampa Bay is dangerous, very dangerous.
No, they are.
Texans at home. Chargers at Raiders.
Ooh, Chargers.
Yeah, I think. Hey, the Raiders look different though. Pete Carroll, something that he does, man.
Man, you just contain Brock Bowers, man. You win that game.
I'm gonna go Chargers. And then the final one we're gonna do 125 Super Bowl rematch on Sunday. Eagles at Chiefs.
Man, this is going to be a shootout right here. This is going to be a shootout. And I say that because both quarterbacks are going to scramble, extend plays, and really it's going to be a ton of explosives. Having said that, I think the team with the strongest run game in this game is going to win. So give me Philadelphia.
Ooh, a big thing we got to find out is Jalen Carter. Is he going to be suspended?
No, he's not going to be suspended.
They're saying some saying his history that they might use that against him, which I hope they don't. I want to see him play, but if he don't play, it's going to be tough, a little bit tougher for them. But like I saw the Eagles, I've been saying it. That Super Bowl, everything went right for them.
It's gonna keep going right, man. It's gonna keep no lefts.
The Cowboys, and it was stuff where I was like, "Hey, stuff look a little different." And I know that's a divisional foe, but it's tougher. I'm going with the Chiefs. Mahomes ain't trying to go 0-2.
Man, Jalen Carter's getting ready to wreck shop, bro.
They got the 9 days off. Like they're gonna figure out a plan with Hollywood, with Tywan Thornton. The Chiefs, I think the Chiefs gonna squeak out a
man.
win.
You could tell you are a real fan, dude. Take off your rose-colored glasses.
If it was in Philadelphia, I would say, yeah, I think Philly gonna take care of home.
Man, listen, those Philly fans are gonna bring cheesesteaks to the stadium and toss them at Chiefs fans.
They're gonna shoot them with barbecue water hose and keep them out of the Arrowhead. But I think it's going to be a great game, but I just think the Chiefs are going to they've been sitting on this loss for the entire offseason, and they were, if you listening to them talking training camp, I'm like, why are y'all mentioning the Eagles? Clearly that was in the back of their head.
Of course.
They're going to be ready.
You don't get embarrassed like that in the Super Bowl. The last game of the season, they BTA'd them. They said that they were going to put BTA, and they did.
You lost to Tampa Bay. They got smacked up, and they weren't mentioning Tampa Bay. It's just I don't think Tampa
it wasn't
Bay,
like that. It wasn't like that. It was we didn't have our tackles.
But it's the same thing.
No, it's not, bro. Hey, no, it's not. You know it, and I know it. Y'all been. Listen, I know you have had this game circled on your calendar. It's here, but I'm telling you right now. You see me drinking water. You feel a little hot.
No, yeah, because Mahomes is about. He's seeing all this Josh Allen love, and like I gotta remind him. I think this is gonna be the game to remind them, and Chiefs sneak this out. 24-21, Kansas City Chiefs. But remember, we're gonna run this back and let you know who picked most of the winners, and it's most likely going to be me, guys. And you can always comment and be a part of the show. We'd love to bring some fans on and give you a chance to get your takes off as well here with the Misfits. And we thank everybody who's staying up late with us and tapping in after Monday Night Football. Much love to you. That's it for me. Elam, take us home, baby.
Hey, you know who it is. It's your guy, Eric Lambkins II. You can follow me, Twitter, Instagram. What's the other one? TikTok. Elam Square. Just type in Eric Lambkins. That's Mykell, Mathieu, MLB Bros, Sporting Tribune, FI360, Culver City Observer. You can catch him on all social media platforms, Mykell the PG. Until next week.
Hey, DM us, fans. DM us. Hit us up. The Misfits Live. You guys see it on your screen. Hit us up where you can give us a topic you may want to talk about, and that will be your chance for you to join us on the show. Hey, we see you next week, baby.
Hold on. Matt, you, my friend Ricky, said he knows y'all from the pen. What pen you talking about? Because I walked the yard. I ain't been in the pen.
Shout out to Ricky. He only got 5 stars when he go to Kansas City.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, but we are the Misfits, where we encourage you not to fit in but find a way to stand out. Until next week, I'm your guy E-Lam, the guy who knows ball. He's just a PG. We out of here. Peace.